Hey guys, Frightener22 here, and welcome back to my first At the Movies installment of 2010. I just got back from seeing The Lovely Bones, which was a film that was really anticipated for me. I was really looking forward to seeing this finally. When the movie first went into production, I went out and finally read the book, which I fell in love with. It's a really, really great book. If you guys haven't read it, I would highly suggest checking it out, preferably before you go and see the movie. The book is just really great, so finally seeing the movie was really worthwhile, and I'm here to give you guys my review on it. As many of you guys may or may not know, Peter Jackson of Lord of the Rings fame and King Kong fame was the director behind this, and it had a really all-star cast of Mark Wahlberg, Rachel Weisz, and Stanley Tucci. The film was really, really solid. I've been hearing a lot of mixed reviews on it, saying, people are kind of on the fence about it. I thought that it was actually a really well-done movie, but I have to stress that there's definitely differences in the book. Most importantly, people that read the book, a lot of people know that there's a relationship that develops between the detective and the wife, and you don't really see that in this film. So, I mean, there's just little things like that tend to occur throughout the whole film. Just, like, very minor things, but things that were taking a lot of time in the book to develop were kind of left out in the movie. Another big thing is that, and, I mean, it's kind of hinted at, I guess one is just meant to, like, assume these things, but the murderer, Stanley Tucci, that murders Susie Salmon, it's in the book. It's kind of made out that he rapes and murders her, and in this film, in the film version, you're just kind of led to believe that he murders her. But I mean, I guess the fact with the PG-13 rating, they couldn't really push it as much as they probably could have or maybe wanted to. But nonetheless, I thought that it was really done in a very tasteful and dark manner, enough for you to get the idea of just exactly what the Stanley Tucci character did. So that was done really well and really tastefully. The moment where the Susie Salmon character is murdered, and then she's kind of lying between the in-between area of of her old life and then going on to heaven. She's kind of in this like in-between area, and it's shot really, really beautifully. I mean, the effects in it are really, really incredible. Going into the film knowing that the budget was $100 million, it's easy to see where a good chunk of that budget actually went to developing these really, really beautiful landscapes and just unbelievable colors, and it was just really very dreamlike, just a very, very surreal settings that were unbelievable to the eye. So, I mean, as far as the Oscar race goes this year, I think that Avatar is going to have a little competition with the visual effects that were accomplished in Lovely Bones, but I mean, I think that's really the only competition that Avatar has to really worry about. But really, really incredible visual effects, just very stunning to look at. The cast in this, I really enjoyed. About a week or two before filming actually commenced, Ryan Gosling was signed on to play the Mark Wahlberg role, and then of course he fell out for the always obvious creative differences. I had read that he had grown a full-grown beard and gained a substantial amount of weight to play the role, and I think Peter Jackson had a different image in mind of what he wanted the character to look like. I'm not 100% certain if that's kind of where the differences came into play, but nonetheless, Ryan Gosling bailed out with a little less than 2 weeks to go before filming, so they got Mark Wahlberg in it. And I thought, when I first heard his name announced, I've always loved Mark Wahlberg, I just wasn't sure if he was right for the film. After seeing it, I thought that he did a really, really wonderful job. His wife, Rachel Weisz, did really great stuff. She had really, really, great presence in this. The grandmother character, Rachel Weisz's mother in the film, is played by the always magnificent Susan Sarandon, and she played a really, really great role. She wasn't in an incredible amount, but she just created this really, really wonderful presence in it, especially to the Susie Salmon character. And then, of course, the most amazing role of all was, of course, to Stanley Tucci, who played Mr. Harvey in the film, the murderer that ends Susie Salmon's life, and he was just stunning. I think that he is definitely the front runner for the Best Supporting Actor Oscar this year. If he doesn't get a nomination, I'm going to be very, very surprised and incredibly disappointed, because he was incredibly scary, very disturbing, and just, very, 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 very odd presence, but it was, it just fit the bill perfectly. I remember reading The Lovely Bones with, in my head, knowing that the film was now in production and filming was going to commence within the, upcoming months. And that was the one thing I really wanted to see, how Mr. Harvey was going to be shown visually in the film. So after seeing Stanley Tucci and the look that he put on for the Mr. Harvey character, I couldn't imagine a better interpretation of that character. He just really, really stole the show in this film. It was really, really wonderful. The actress that plays the young Susie Salmon role was also really wonderful. Her name escapes me right now, but she was actually in the 2007 film Atonement with Keira Knightley, and she was really wonderful in that. And then in The Lovely Bones, she played a really, really great role. And that's important because, if you don't believe in the character of Susie Salmon, I think that you lose the whole focus of the film and kind of lose the audience. So it was a lot of, pressure and weight to put on such a young actress, but she accomplished it beautifully. Really, really great life and gravity that she brought to the film as well. So I would highly suggest that everybody go out and see this. This is definitely a movie that shouldn't be missed. I can understand where people might be on the fence with it, because if you go into it loving the book and expecting it to be 100% faithful to the book, you can't really expect that, because when things get adapted from book form into movie form, things have to be compromised for better or for worse. But this is coming from somebody that loved the book. I thought that they did a pretty overall very solid job of, being faithful to the book, but then, of course, compromising for, filmmaking reasons. So I thought that Peter Jackson did a really wonderful job in playing that balancing act. So I would highly recommend seeing The Lovely Bones if you guys are, a lover of the book, or just Peter Jackson films in general, especially with an all-star cast like this. So definitely do not miss this. This is definitely a film of 2010 that cannot be missed. As always, guys, thanks again for tuning in. This is Frightener22.